Yes, indeed. Here it is Sunday. And fam, as you know, I would rather talk football. I got to tell you, my favorite, in face, if you ever want to send me a gift, send me an Argentinian Malbec. I love to sit back and do that Malbec with my favorite cheese. Oh, I forgot. This is supposed to be a football program. Listen, that's how much I enjoy talking football. I got Teran here. Teran is our GM of the day. We are about to find out what his mock draft is. And last year, Teran, first of all, let me say hello.
How you doing, man? What's up, Niner fam?
Teran, last year, I think you had a number of picks absolutely accurate. Can you how many of those guys did you get right last year? I know I don't have to help you remember. You remember.
Yeah, well, I got Reuben Foster correct, which was pretty easy. I think everybody had him mocked. And then I had Akello Witherspoon picked.
Yeah, that's tough.
And then Lorenzo Jerome, I actually picked him too, but as a sixth-round pick. But then we ended up bringing him in free agency anyway. So
yeah. And that counts, too, because you knew the 49ers would like that kid, so that's okay. Hey, there's Teran with 3. I keep forgetting to ask people who've been on before doing this, how well did they do last year? Because I got to look back on these things. You had 3, and I believe Trez had a couple, and he's real proud about it. And the reason I know about Trez is because he won't stop talking about it. But, yeah, I like that. And, by the way, you give yourself credit for Reuben Foster because Reuben Foster was a long shot, being that he was Reuben Foster, and we only had 1 pick in the first round, supposedly. They had to go back and get him, but it just goes to show you how bad they did want him. You were right. All right, Teran, we are ready when you're ready.
All right, I'm ready. I've been ready, man. Yeah, like they say, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. You know what I mean?
There you go.
So, all right, Niner fam, I'm going to go ahead and start off first by going picking the mock draft, picks 1 through 8, Browns all the way to the Bears, so you can kind of see how I went with the pick that I'm going to give. Mm-hmm. So, real quick, let me just give you 1 through 8. I got first pick, Browns going Sam Darnold. Second pick, I got Giants going Saquon Barkley. With the third pick, I got Jets going Josh Rosen. Fourth pick, Browns again, Bradley Chubb. Fifth pick, I got the Broncos going Denzel Ward. Sixth pick, I got Colts taking Quinton Nelson. Seventh pick, I have a trade. I have Tampa trading with the Buffalo Bills and having a surprise pick. And they're going to draft a quarterback. But it's not who you think. Hey. Bills going Lamar Jackson with the 7th pick. Then, 8th pick, I have the Bears going Marcus Davenport.
Hey, Teran, did you say Tampa Bay was going to go for a quarterback?
No, I don't think so, but I think that the Bills.
Oh, the Bills are coming in a trade with Tampa Bay. Okay.
Yeah, Bills trading up. They're going to give them I think they're going to give them the 12th and the 21st, 22nd, whatever one it is. All right. To trade the 7th spot to get their quarterback, but I don't think it's going to be Josh Allen or Baker Mayfield. I think it's going to be Lamar Jackson. I think he's going to surprise and get into that top 10.
And you're right. Somebody is going to get Lamar Jackson in that top 10. You know, it's funny because I was going to laugh because I was going to say, do you think Tampa Bay's had about enough of Jameis Winston?
Nah,
James.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think honestly, Tampa Bay is not too far off in my opinion. They had a bad year. I expect them to go better. I think if they can get 12th and 21st in the first round, that they can do some things. They can still get some good players for those two.
And Jameis might be ready this year. He had some struggles last year. But let's go ahead and get ready. Let's get into your draft.
All right. So with the 9th pick on the board, 49ers, we have 4 elite players in my opinion still available. You got Minkah Fitzpatrick. You got Roquan Smith, you got Tremayne Edmonds, and you have Derwin James. So instead of us, I think we might get some calls saying, hey, we want a quarterback. But I think with those 4 players still on the board, you can walk away with some elite talent. So I think we stand pat at, to be honest. So out of the 4, I like Minkah Fitzpatrick and Tremayne Edmonds better out of the 4 that I mentioned, out of Roquan Smith and Derwin James. Although Minkah would be tempting, I mean, he's a ball hawk. I mean, I think he has like 5 return interceptions for touchdowns, I believe. I mean, he's good. But with the 9th pick, the San Francisco 49ers go Tremayne Edmonds, linebacker out of Virginia Tech.
Right.
I mean, you don't even need to really explain this dude. 19 years old, 6'5", 250. I mean, won't turn 20 until the beginning of May. So his ceiling is just ridiculous. Linebacker is still kind of sketchy
18.
because, he's 19. Yeah, until I think his birthday is May 2nd or May 3rd, one of them two.
No, I'm just saying.
He's 19.
Last year, he played as a child at 18. I was thinking about that, but you're right. Yeah, 19 in May. My God.
Yeah, 19. He'll be 20 in May. Yeah, so I mean, dude is young. And Malcolm Smith, coming back from injury, we don't know what he's going to look like. Reuben Foster, we already know that dude, the situation he's in. Hopefully he gets. I mean, I'm hoping he gets maybe only a 3-game suspension and not a 6. That's being reported. If it's a 3, I'll be okay with that. But I mean, of course, as Niner faithful, we want all the charges dropped and just let him go ahead and play all 16 games. But all likelihood, he's probably gonna get. Even if he does get the charges dropped, I still think he still might get 3 games because Roger Goodell will probably step in on that.
He hates misbehavior. You're right.
Yeah, and the reason why I didn't go edge right now is because, I mean, our D-line is stacked. I mean, I don't care what you say. Yeah, we do need a pass rusher, but I have faith in Cassius Marsh. He started coming on at the end of the year. Solomon Thomas is going to get better. And what people don't understand, like if Solomon Thomas and let's just say, him and Buckner are starting inside, if they grow and get stronger and become elite, they're going to have to take on 2 blockers anyway.
Right.
So I think, with the edge rusher, somebody like a Cassius Marsh or maybe, Jeremy Atalcho, you still got Peter T that could play some linebacker and some DN. So I think we have some depth there. And like you said, we still got Ronald Blair. We still have some depth. And Eli Harold is supposed to get some snaps at defensive end also, which is...
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, what he should have been playing anyway. He was a hand-in-the-ground guy in Virginia anyway.
Yeah, all right.
So, so I think if we can move forward with Tremayne Edmonds, Reuben Foster, and Malcolm Smith as our 3 linebackers, I think that'll be phenomenal.
All right.
So that's my pick. All right. So for the second round, pick number 59, I'm going to go wide receiver Deon Kane out of Clemson. This guy's 6'2", 202, ran a 4.43 40, and what's more impressive is he had a 6.713 cone, which any 49er fan should know that is important in Shanahan's scheme. Yep. You got somebody like a Trent Taylor, he only ran a 4.6, but his 3 cone was like a 6.7. It's all about separation. Deon Kane, he has the size and the speed. He has the agility. Pierre Garçon, coming off an injury, I'm sure he's going to do his thing, but I give him 1 more year on this team, to be honest.
Yeah, 32.
I think he'll play 2018. You can groom Deon Kane. Going 2019, I think we can move forward with Goodwin, Kane, Taylor, Kendrick Bourne, and Victor Bolden. I think Aldrick Robinson gets cut. I think Aldrick Robinson gets cut this year.
Teran, hold on just a moment, Teran. By the way, guys, if you have any questions, I forgot to mention, it's hashtag Q. Makes it easy for us to find. Hashtag Q. List your question. We will get it to our GM of the day right after he finishes his presentation. Hashtag Q. Question. All right. Go ahead, Teran.
Yeah, no problem. And I think with Deon Kane, when Mike Williams left, everybody wanted him, to have a breakout season. And people were kind of down on him, like, he didn't dominate like he was supposed to. People forgot he didn't have Deshaun Watson throwing him the football. You had a brand new quarterback. I mean, I think if it wasn't fair to him to, that he didn't have that kind of capability that Mike Williams had or whatever the case may be. But I think he's a sleeper. He's actually my 5th best receiver on the board. He not being talked about much, which is kind of scaring me. But if he's there at 59, I definitely would like the Niners to take a look at him because he has everything you're looking for in that scheme, in my opinion. All right. So with the 3rd round, 70th pick overall, I have Taekwon Lewis, defensive end at Ohio State. 6'3", 265 pounds, runs a sub 4.7. I mean, he'll add some depth to our pass rush. I mean, he had a pretty okay year. I mean, that Ohio State defense was pretty deep. So, he started, but, he went out on some packages, came in on some. I think they just had so much D-line depth that they kind of, interchanged their D-linemen a lot. So, but I do like Taekwon Lewis at DN at the 7th pick. All right. You have anything to say, Ronbo, or you good? Or
No, I was enjoying that Taekwon because I just got turned on to him about 2 or 3 weeks ago myself.
Oh, really?
I like his aggression. He's he's the kind of guy I want. If you're gonna bring somebody in off the bench, I like quality depth. He is definitely quality depth. If he's not a starter,
Sure.
I like it.
Sure, exactly. Okay, with the 74th pick, I have Jerome Christian, offensive tackle from Louisville. Dude's a stud. He protected the blind side for Lamar Jackson. And I really like this kid. I'm not going offensive guard because we have 5 of them, and I believe 2 will step up. Jonathan Cooper, Laken Tomlinson, Eric Magnuson. We have who else? We have Zane Beatles. We still have what's the guy? I can't think of his name off the top of my head right now from Stanford. We drafted 2 years ago. Joshua Garnett. He lost some weight. Yeah, he lost some weight. Lost about 30 pounds. Coming back off an injury. So we have 5 guards at that. We have 5 guys at that position, offensive guard. And I think tackle with Joe Staley getting up there in age is more of a need. We don't have much tackles. We need some depth.
So true. I agree.
We need some depth at tackle. So, I got a trade offer real quick. Give me a second.
All
right. Hey, Rick, how you doing?
Oh, it's for me. Hey, hey, how you doing? Is this who is this?
This is John Lynch. How you doing today?
John. Hi, John. I just came in from a rough day. John, I'm delighted to hear from you. What's going on?
Oh yeah, how you doing today, man? We have there's a kid that we like in the bottom of the 3rd round. We don't think he'll make it to us. Do you mind trading that pick to us? We will give you our 4th pick, which is the 4th round pick, which is the 128th overall. And we'll also throw in our 3rd pick for 2019. Does that sound like a pretty good deal to you?
You know, that is pretty appealing. You know what? I don't even need to think about that one. You know what? I think I'll take that deal. Yeah. Listen, you're going to owe me a favor, though. Next year, I'm going to be looking to get Jimmy Garoppolo in Minnesota, okay? You keep that in mind, all right?
Oh, okay. I'll keep that on the bottom of my list. Thank you, sir.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right. So with that trade, we go from picking 128th to 94th. So we move up about 34 spots or so. We give them our 4th this year, and then we give them a 3rd next year. And with this pick, I really like this kid. I think he fits our scheme. His name is Dane Cruikshank, defensive back from Arizona. 6'1", 206 pounds. We're in a 4.4 140-yard dash, and once again a 6.893 cone.
Hey.
So to be able to stick with our receivers, you got to be able to have the smooth hips and footwork to keep up with our receivers as well. So with the 6.893 cone, I think Dane Cruikshank could eventually, probably be like a dime corner. He'll be the outside guy, probably backing up Sherman for a while in case, something happens with Sherman. But I think this kid has ability to be a starter and even challenge Ahkello Witherspoon to start next year. This is how good he is.
And can learn from Sherm.
And can run from Sherm. And like I said, a 4.4 140. He's fast. He's almost in the 4.3 range.
Whew.
And he's
I like that.
6'1", 206, has long arms. He fits that scheme perfect. So I really like this guy. And I traded up because I don't think he'll be there in the 4th. I had him in our 4th round, but the way he's been talked about, and I think he's rising up draft board. So I really, I think we need to make a trade for him if we really want him. So.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
That's too much talent. Everybody's seen it.
What's that?
It's too much talent. GMs know about him. Who can get him, and where can they find a way to get into him? That's one of those scary picks. You can't get him in the 1st round, but you don't want to wait too long. But yeah,
exactly. It's going to be kind of like a move we made for C.J. Beathard in a way. Remember how we probably could have got him in the 4th, but just to make sure we got him, we traded up and got him in the 3rd. Just to be safe. It's kind of similar. It's kind of similar to that. So
yeah, all right.
Yeah. Okay. So now that we don't have a 4th round pick, so that gives us a 1st, a 2nd, and 3 thirds. That's that's some quality draft picks.
There you go.
So in the 5th round, I want to go with the Swiss Army knife. This guy has played running back. He lined up at tight end. No, he's not much of a blocking factor, but the man is, to me, he's like Delaney Walker, light, and then can also line up at running back. His name is Jalen Samuels, tight end / running back out of NC State.
Yeah, I know about him.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a bruiser, 5'11", 226. All our backs are, I think, under 210. So we have some pretty small backs, even though Jerick McKinnon is strong, but we still need that bruiser. And, yes, we do have Kyle Juszczyk, but at the same time, it's, I think if he's the single back there on 3rd and goal, I think they're going to probably assume he's going to get the ball. But I think if you put Samuels, exactly. So I think if you put Samuels and Kyle back there, you kind of, it's going to make the defense guess a little bit of who's going to get the ball. One might go off for a pass because they both got great hands. But I really do like this Jalen Samuels kid. He might get picked earlier, but 5th round is good value just because he doesn't have a true position.
Right.
But at NC State, he lined up everywhere. Like I said, he was a tight end probably majority of the time. So he can back up Kittle, and then he can also line up at running back. And he has a size at 226, and he runs he runs a 4.54, and his 3-cone was 6.93.
See, you gotta have the 3 cones. Those times that's what it proves that you separate you from the rest. And you know what? You're right. Kyle's already said I am not going to be using Juszczyk for a running back in that capacity. So you're right to find that big guy.
Exactly. So with the 6th round, 184th overall, I'm going to go get some more offensive tackle depth. I'm going to go Brandon Parker, offensive tackle from North Carolina A&T. 6'7", 314 pounds. Kind of a project, but, he did start for 3 years at North Carolina A&T. So, he is a starter. So I would like him, and he just brings more depth for that tackle position because, like I said, I think we definitely more depth at tackle than we do guard.
Yeah.
And 2, with center, Eric Magnuson also played snaps at center as well. So just in case something happens to Weston Richburg, we have somebody to come in and take care of that as well. So I think the outside is more of a need than the inside line. So
yeah. Because Trent Taylor, it seems to be all of a sudden there's questions floating around Trent. It's kind of worrying me. I don't know if they're trying to build a fire under him or what are we doing here. So, yeah, you're good to make that move.
Yeah, and like I said, too, and then with Staley's age, I give him maybe 2 years. It's funny about Staley because sometimes where you think that, it's almost time for him to call it quits, and then he'll show you 8 games of being elite. And you're like, man, this dude still has a couple years left. So yeah, we need to start looking for the future. We need to start looking for the future and getting him somebody to groom. So, and then for the 7th round, we have 2 picks. But with my first pick, I have 223rd overall. I have Andre Chasure, cornerback out of San Jose State.
Local boy.
Yeah, he's actually from Fresno, from where I'm from.
All right.
Yeah, he's from Fresno, and but yeah, so he's from Fresno, but he's went to San Jose State. Add some more depth at corner. He's 6 foot, 200 pounds, runs a 4.49 40, and his 3-cone was 6.78 as well. So another guy with some smooth hips, quick feet, and a good change of direction skills. He's he gets kind of, nobody really knows about him much. He played in the Mountain West. He's kind of he didn't play against top competition, so I think that's why he slips. Could get drafted earlier, but he does have elite measurables, and he could fit our scheme and really can add some depth, be a great special teamer.
Yeah. And how many guys do we find on the special teams that are doing a good job? Just like you mentioned earlier, you got Marsh, and also Colbert was supposed to be a special teams guy. You see,
yeah, he
so
was.
You're right. Yeah.
He was supposed to be. Yeah, came in and started lighting it up. And then for our last pick, 240th pick overall in the 7th round, I have another guy, which you hear his measurables, you think, man, this dude should be elite, but he takes bad angles, kind of a project. He needs some time to develop and stuff. But I have Matthew Thomas, linebacker from Florida State, 6'2", 232 pounds, run a 4.58 40. So dude has some speed. He'll probably hopefully he flies under the radar because he barely even started at Florida State. But the dude, he has some talent. 6.853 cone drill. So, he's pretty good. Hopefully he's still there. If not, we can get some more linebacker depth. But I really like him if he's there. Nice project. Somebody that can, that can be groomed as well to eventually maybe step in if there's some injuries. So, and that right there will complete my mock draft.
Hey, Teran, and also with that last pick, it's like Kyle says, if you have the talent to play on special teams, we'll work with you until we get you where you're going. And 4-5 on special teams is already going to be a beast. And at 4-5 also, I work with that speed on a daily basis. If I'm one of the coaches, I make him my personal project and say, you know what, kid? You're not a good football player right now. I just sort of mess with his mind, right? You're not a good football player right now. But in a few weeks, a few months, you're going to start to become a good football player. Just to follow my lead. You know, that's it.
Absolutely.
I'd love it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, sir.
And there's Terrence. Let me go over Terrence's picks for you, just in case he just arrived. All right. His first round pick at number 9, Tremayne Edmonds out of Virginia Tech, 6'5". This guy's built like a defensive end, and he plays linebacker. You know how terrifying it's going to be for that running back to come flashing through that hole as he straightens up because he's been low for 5 yards. He looks up, and there's Tremayne. I want that dude myself. Second round pick, 59, Deon Kane, wide receiver, Clemson. And we all know Clemson turns out nothing but good football products. He'll be all right. Third round pick at number 70, Teran Lewis, defensive end, Ohio State. I like about Taekwon, he's got some dog in him. You can see it when he comes up that. He's got some dog. When you go to block him, you can see it's not going to work. He just keeps on coming. And also, third round pick at number 74, Jerome Christian, offensive tackle, Louisville. And Teran explained that. And you can continue to ask him more questions about that. The possibility of Joe Staley. How much longevity has he got into his career? Will he last another year? Will he still be able to play at a high level? These are some of the things we have to ask about. Also, with Trent Brown, the conversation that floats around him is not real positive right now. What are the 49ers thinking? Or are they putting that out in the media just to build a fire under him? These are all things to consider. But if the 49ers dual pull a tackle, we've got something going on to that. Okay, anyway, let's go to, now here's a trade. We're trading our 4th round, and Teran's trading his 4th round. Number 128 pick, Andor, 2019 3rd round pick to the Vikings for their 2018 3rd round and number 94 pick. All right? So the 3rd round pick, 94, that's Dane Cruikshank. Let me get the lips and tongue together. That's Dane Cruikshank. That's it. Cruikshank. He's a cornerback out of Arizona. Correct, yeah. Is that right? Yeah. All right. Yeah, he's a cornerback out of. Again, how do you say that?
Cruikshank.
Yeah, there you go. Think about a crook and then shank. It took me a long time to get It took me a long time to get Kyle's name downtown. I've been getting corrected about that all the time too. It's Juszczyk, like you said earlier. I always call him Juice. That 5th round pick at 143, Jalen Samuels, running back. He's a fullback. He's a tight end. This guy's got many talents that could be used. Of course, the 49ers probably isolate him in one in particular that he does the best. But he's got that many talents, and you like those kind of players with that kind of diversity. He's out of North Carolina State. 6th round pick at 184, that's Brandon Parker, offensive tackle. And, in North Carolina A&T. This is a good idea. I like this because everybody's talking about, we need guards. No, we don't. We've got an army of guards. And contrary to popular belief, they don't all suck. All right? 7th round pick, 223, Andre all day. Mr. GM, pronounce that last name for me, please.
Chaussure.
See how he does that? I'm impressed. I'm not even going to try that. He's a quarterback out of San Jose State. He is from Fresno, as our GM, as also originates from Fresno. That's the point. He's at San Jose State. I call him a local boy because, he's in San Jose now, so that makes him almost local. 7th round pick, 240, Matthew Thomas, linebacker out of Florida State. And that is Teran, our GM of the day, is mock draft. Now, if you got questions, he is ready for that. All right? So let's go right up to Eric Gomez. He says, how many yards do you think Trent Taylor will have this season? Now, okay, guys, if you can, let's hang with the draft for a minute because it's funny. During the free agency period, nobody wanted to talk about free agency. We talk about the draft. Now we're going the other way. but Mr. Jim, go ahead. What do you think? What do you think Trent Taylor's what kind of season is he gonna have?
Trent Taylor. Well, it's kind of hard to say because Jimmy G spreads the ball around pretty well. So I'm thinking Trent Taylor maybe about 600 yards, 700 yards or so coming out of the slot, because I think Marquise Goodwin, I think he's going to have over 1,000, and Pierre Garçon will probably have over 1,000 too. I think we could possibly have 2,000-yard receivers. And then, of course, towards the end of the year, like the last 4 or 5 games, you see Kyle Juszczyk started going out for more balls. He started going out catching 23-yard passes. Then you got Jerick McKinnon as well catching balls out of the backfield. So it's going to be tough. I mean, I say, to answer your question, I say anywhere between 600 and 750 yards.
Tell you, you know what? I tell you what, we could have 2 or 3 guys that are in fantasy football leagues every week, and people, I mean, it's Jerick McKinnon. I understand that is going to be special when it comes to FF. So we'll see. Now, I see Josh Chernuski says, do you think Deon Kane is better than Anthony Miller, or do you feel he is a better fit and of Miller will be off the board?
No, and that's funny you say that, because Anthony Miller is actually my 6th ranked receiver. Deon Kane's my 5th. I like Deon Kane. He's actually bigger, faster, and he's smoother in and out of his breaks. So even if they both were available, I'd still go Deon Kane, because I think he kind of mirrors a little bit of Pierre Garçon, that size type thing, goes over the middle, but he's just faster. So no, I would still take Deon Kane over Anthony Miller.
All right. Mark Lacilento says, how about Donta Johnson, cornerback out of LSU, can be a kick returner for us, punt returner, 4.32. Who is this man?
Yeah, I know who he's talking about. I think he ran the fastest 40 at the combine. I mean, LSU cornerbacks, you kind of can't go wrong with them guys, even though, it was a bad taste in our mouth with Rashard Robinson. But Josh Jackson, I think he's going to get overdrafted because of speed, because he's pretty good, but he's real light. I think he's like 6 foot, like 175 or something like that. He's real small. Yeah. So I don't see him fitting our scheme at all.
Yeah, he can't be physical. It's really funny. No. What's going on out at LSU? Now, you got DJ Chark, so I guess him and Johnson must have been just putting on a show in practice every week.
For sure.
Niner Nation 88. How much money would you give Buck? He is the best interior D lineman and leads NFL in quarterback hits. His contract expires next year, doesn't it? That's going to be an interesting.
Is it next year or the year before? I mean, the year after. Sorry,
year after. That's right. In fact,
year after.
Think, you're right.
Because I think first-round picks get 5-year deals, and everybody after that gets 4 and then 3 and so on and so forth. So I think he's on a 5-year deal.
You're right, and they're never going to pick that up. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll pick it up. I don't know. It depends. I know it's kind of tap dancing around the question, but it's kind of hard to say, because I think I can answer that question better after I see what he does this year. But I mean, if he kills, if he just goes out there and destroys and gets like 10 sacks and and gets tons of quarterback pressures or whatever the case may be, I think he has the ability to get paid like a top 5 interior lineman for sure.
And what you might think about doing is go ahead and preemptive strike. You go ahead and DeForest, come on in the office. Let's talk about extensions. And of course, the agent will call. Don't do it, 49ers. You talk to me, don't talk to the kid, okay? Yeah. He's got another year to go.
And it's funny, too, because it looks like our upper management is smart, because I kept saying, I think I talked to you about it, too, with Marquise Goodwin, how they gave him an extension before he blew up. Because it's like, let me pay you now, give an extension now, because in 2018, he might have 1,200 yards. And then what would you have to pay him?
I'm telling you. Because
you know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely. Because they're teaching him how to run route now. See, Marquise Goodwin, who used to be just a guy that took the top off the defense, he's running routes. Did you see how many people he smoked? Yeah, I mean, Jalen Ramsey, look, did you see? They put the camera in close to him. You could see Jalen Ramsey's eyes and face one time. He was standing off of Marquise Goodwin like he thought Marquise was a dog that was going to bite him.
Absolutely. He feared that speed. And so that's what I like about them, because I can almost guarantee you, if they didn't extend him now and he went out this season and he had 1,200 yards and let's just say 11 touchdowns, that contract he got, it would have been tripled.
It had to be. By another team, too. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, because him and Jimmy G have a connection, and that connection is going to grow. Rod Simmons says, no question, just love first, second picks. Do you think Hubbard, Ohio State, who played next to Wyatt in college, could fit in as a Leo.
Oh, absolutely he can. But I think where we pick, number 9 is way too early for him. And he definitely won't be there at 59. So, I mean, only way I see us getting him is if, maybe somebody like the Bills, if they come on up and they say we want the 9th pick, they give us a 12th and the 21st or 22nd. I can't remember which one it is. He'd be good for the second first rounder. So 21, 22, if he's there, I'd definitely take him. He definitely would fit the system.
My question, with that 9th pick, I noticed you stayed there.
Yeah.
What are the chances, Mr. GM, of what would be the point? And a lot of people ask this question. I have the same answer, and I thought I'd throw it at you too. What would be the point of trading down at the number 9th pick?
Yeah, it's like, to me, it's like, because I really do think at least, okay, I say 3 quarterbacks going in the top 10 for sure, and there could be a possibility of 5. Okay, so we get. Let's say we get 4 quarterbacks in the top 8. There's elite talent still left on the board. And I think there's probably about 10 to 12 elite players. So I think once you start trading down, you get out of there, say you go from 9 to 16. Yeah, you'll have you a quality starter, but you won't have that elite game changer, in my opinion. So I think with staying at 9, if you have the ability to get a Minkah Fitzpatrick or Tremayne Edmonds, I think you have to take them. Just because I think those are game-changing players, in my opinion. Roquan Smith, to me, he's okay, but I think he's getting overvalued, and that's just my opinion. He doesn't shed blocks very well from what I've seen, and also it seems like, and I'm not saying all the time, but it looks like I say about 40% of his tackles, he can never get the guy down by himself. He always has to hold somebody. No, seriously, he always has to hold somebody for somebody else to come and clean it up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, his instincts are great. He can come and he can stop a ball carrier, but he doesn't really get them down to the ground. He always has to have that help. Oh, well, I wouldn't say always. Like I said, about 30% of his plays. So,
and that's too much.
Yeah, it is. To me, it is for somebody being picked in the top 10. And Derwin James, great athlete, but he takes bad angles, in my opinion. I mean, he's versatile. He can play corner. He can probably play slot, free, strong. He could probably put him at the will like they do with Kelvin Smith and Deon Buchanan and all that. But to me, I think he will be a great football player, but right now he's a better athlete than he is football player. So I think
Roquan goes at doesn't he come in at 232 or something like that? Or is he lighter than that?
No, he's that's about as big as Reuben Foster. But
yeah, I'm trying to give him
But I don't know. He's 6'1", 232. But
yeah,
I think when you have somebody, we have Tremayne Edmonds, 6'5", 250. That's he's running a 4.5. That's just, I think you can't pass on that.
No, I agree. I'm trying to give Roquan an excuse because when people have been overwhelmed by Roquan, I'm trying to understand why does it take him so he's not a hammer. I understand that some guys are wrap-up tacklers with good technique, but like you said, I'm watching Roquan hold people until the Army can get there. That means you can break his tackles too. So he worries me on that. He gets there, like you're saying. He gets there. You're not going to run past him. His lateral movement is fantastic. But Roquan, is that muscling up or is that just bad tech? He worries me. I don't want him in the first round either.
No, and I totally agree. Like I think he's worth picking like 15th, 16th around there. But like I said, just like what you saw, being a top 10 pick and being a strong side linebacker at that, you have to be able to make that initial tackle.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be the first one.
Tremayne Edmonds can do that.
Yeah, because if you're the first guy there in pursuit, it's going to take a minute for the Army. It's going to take a minute for everybody to get there. You need to be able to take this dude down. If you're not, Reuben doesn't have that problem. Reuben doesn't need your help. Right?
If he's having that issue, I get he played in the SEC, probably best conference in football, but he's having issues doing that. Everybody in the NFL is good. So like you said, you can get stiff arm, you get pancake, whatever the case may be. And you got to be able to make that initial tackle without having to hold somebody before somebody else comes and cleans it up. So
yeah. Callie, we just said, where's Callie? Callie was asking the question that I had on my mind about the 9th. But Callie style, should we trade down in the first round in order to get more picks in this draft? Callie, we just addressed that question. As far as the quality of talents you want in the 9th, your 9th pick. And this year, and I don't know, Mr. Jim may agree. This year, I don't know that we need so many picks. Somebody brought it up the other day on Red Gold Radio. We have almost established a core group. and you bring in all those kids into camp, extra picks. Where are they going to play and who are you going to drop? It becomes kind of a redundant thing. So, yeah, you probably, the 49ers, 9 picks this year is plenty. They may do it anyway, though. I mean, yeah, but I think that's fine. Niner Nation 88, what do you think Buckner will get with it? We already did that one, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
That one. Yeah, Orlando Ventura are the 49ers are getting are the 49ers getting wide receiver Odell, or are they still debating about it? Go ahead. I want a piece of this too. But what about Odell Beckham Jr.?
Like any football fan, man's a late talent, top 3 receiver in my eyes. I mean, the issues is he comes with a headache, at times, and then he's asking for $20 million a year. I mean, he's not a quarterback. I don't know what you think this is, asking for $20 million a year. You don't have the ball in your hands at all times. So, if for us to get him. Maybe if they say, give us a 9th pick and maybe a 3rd next year, because I don't know, it's kind of a sour taste in my mouth because we got Jimmy G, a franchise quarterback, for a 2nd. So to get a wide receiver with the top 10 pick and then a 3rd, I don't know, we'd have to get a great offer. So in that case, I would probably say no. To be honest, I mean, he's great. I mean, I'm not like a I'm not trying to be biased or nothing like that and saying like, oh, he's not, he's a great receiver, but I just don't like what they'll probably ask for. So if they're saying I want 2 firsts, then no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Oh, you give up 2 firsts. Teran, you give up 2 firsts, and then you pay him $20 million.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
And he made it clear, wherever you guys send me, they better know I need my money. So yeah. Zell, you've got to realize, just what Teran just said, you're not a quarterback. You're not having the ball in your hands at all time. You don't become the most important guy in the league. Though, Teran, granted, it is going to become, the way it's evolving, the way quarterbacks getting paid, I figure within the next 2 years, quarterbacks will be exceeding over $30 million.
Sure.
That means, I guess, the wide receivers do move into the $20 million range. Well, how about we wait until then?
Possibly.
Here's another thing about Odell Beckham Jr. and the 49ers offense. Kyle Shanahan has tried to explain to people a million times, but a lot of people still aren't listening. He doesn't need an elite Julio. He said Julio was a luxury in Atlanta. He was not a necessity. In Kyle Shanahan's offense, that ball is going to be distributed to wherever the weakest link is. If it happens to be toward Julio, or if we had OBJ, okay, OBJ is his day. If it's not, if it's a slot and Trent Taylor is wide open all day, he gets the ball until they cover him. It's like a fighter.
Sure.
If the fighter's got his hands up and you're working his body, you stay with that body. He drops his hands, you knock him out. This is why people don't understand about Kyle's offense. He doesn't need these guys. He's going to scheme guys open. And as everybody saw through the last 5 games last year, we had guys wide open all day. Why do we need to pay Odell Beckham Jr. $20 million so he can join the rest of the guys getting open just as easily? I don't understand that thinking. Okay, I just had to get that off my chest.
Yeah, I totally agree.
It's not necessary.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's how many yards do you think Kendrick will get, and what stats will Adrian Sherman and Witherspoon have?
Gotcha.
Adrian Colbert. That's a mixed question. How many yards do you think Kendrick will have? Will get, and what's the stats with Adrian Sherman and Witherspoon?
Well, if the draft goes down similar to what I have, Kendrick won't get many yards, in my opinion, unless somebody gets hurt. Because I think if Deon Kane is the pick, you got Pierre Garcon and Marquise Goodwin as the outside receivers. You got Trent Taylor as your slot. Then the other backup is going to be Deon Kane for the outside. So, that puts Kendrick Bourne as a 5th receiver on the team. So I don't see him getting that many yards. Yes, I mean, he's been working now. He's been a beast, but I mean, Deon Kane has more talent than Kendrick Bourne. And obviously we know what Pierre's can do. He can get open with the best of them. Marquise is starting to get into his prime. Trent Taylor's only going to get better. So Kendrick Bourne, I say maybe 2 or 3 touchdowns and maybe 300 yards receiving, if that. I don't know. It depends.
Or 3
I don't know.
touchdowns at that.
It's kind of hard to say,
Yeah. That's a lot of touchdowns, though, for the amount. Because you're right.
Yeah.
Kendrick is going to have to try to find his way to get playing time with Garcon coming back. In fact, I would rather believe that it's not Kendrick's time. Next year, maybe he may be vying for a position with, as you said, Garcon might be leaving. But, Kendrick's going to have to stay sharp, stay impressive, and injuries could bring him in just like it did last year, and he became a factor, which was pretty solid. And for Adrian, it's hard to, guys, the stats with Adrian and Sherman and Witherspoon, I think that's going to be, let's wait on that one. That requires a little too much thought. Mark Nascimento says, can Deon Kane, Deon Kane, you just talked about him, is an X receiver or a Z? Cute question, huh?
I think he could play both. What's good about Clemson is they move their receivers around. Yeah. So Deon Kane, he played on the right and the left-hand side. He outside, he played slot. So he's a versatile receiver. I think he can do both. So
there you go, versatility. All right. Graphic Kicks, would you try Tremayne Edmonds as an edge rusher? Has similar measurements to Khalil Mack. My question exactly, too. In fact, I got corrected so badly, I backed off. I said, you know what? Tremayne Edmonds put that 6'5", 200-something pounds, 250, put him on the edge. Look at the moves. But, there's a lot of difference between the technique of a linebacker, which he's primarily been. Because I mentioned Tremayne grew all of a sudden, didn't he? He didn't even realize. Tremayne is 19. That means in 2 years, if he's 6'5" right now, about 250, he'll be 6'5", about 280, 275,
265, 270 maybe.
Yeah, with ease. Possibly. And it won't be fat either. So, what do you think?
I think it depends on certain packages. I think maybe, I don't know about putting his hand in the ground yet, because I don't know if he can.
Yeah.
Him going up with like a Tyron Smith or like an elite left tackle, I'm not sure if I'm okay with that yet. But I think in certain packages, I would definitely send him in on blitzes, though. I mean, him being the strong side, have a Jaquiski Tartt come up and maybe play up, and then have Tremayne Edmonds going on blitz and stuff like that. Hand in the ground, I don't think he's ready for that yet, and that's just my opinion. But,
and you're right too. I agree, because he's not been. I mean, on a 3-4, think about that, the OLB, but in a 4-3, hand in the ground, that could be rough. All right, Marcus Rickard. Why go with 2 offensive tackles? I understand the need of OT, but I don't see us going 2, especially with Trent Brown and hopefully Darrell Williams, who I forgot about again, too. Shows up too. Do you remember Darrell Williams there?
I do.
He had a showing last year, though. He was pretty good, I thought.
He did.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to me, it's easy. Yeah, to me, it's easy. I just think tackle is more need for depth than offensive guard. I mean, I had said this in the beginning when I had picked them. I think we have 5 guys. I mean, there's only 2 guys that's going to start. We have 5 guys that are, vying for a position, a starting position. We, like I said, we went and signed Cooper on a 1-year deal, and if he's healthy, he's starting. You watched the Dallas. He started with 13 games in Dallas last year.
Yeah, I was so delighted to hear that because he's had a history of injuries, and if we can get 13 games out of him, I'll be so happy.
Oh, absolutely, 13 games in Dallas. So I think if healthy, he's probably going to be the left guard, right guard. You got Laken Tomlinson. And then 2, let's look back at this too. Jimmy G is the type of dude that he delivers the ball so fast, he makes the guards look like they're more elite anyway.
Bam.
Because you see how beat up Hoyer and Beathard were getting. And then when Jimmy G come in, he wasn't touched as much because he lets go of that football. So I think looking at tackle and offensive guard, tackle to me is much more of a need. And that's just, how I see it because, yes, I understand we do have Staley, we do have Brown, Williams, but I just think, we have to start looking for somebody to take over for Joe Staley. And I think if Jerome Christian can come in as a tackle 3rd round, he's athletic. He's, 6'6", 314. He's athletic. I think if you can get him 2 years playing behind Staley, he can step in immediately once Joe decides to hang it up or whatever the case may be. So So that's the answer. I just think tackle is much more of a need than guard.
I agree. And every time you look at social media, we need help in the guard. I mean, does anybody know how many guards we already have on this roster? What are you going to bring out another guard for? They're not any good. I'm telling you right now, Jonathan Cooper, I'll put up against any guard in the league. Teran, Jonathan Cooper, I'm going to, you know what? I'm running a risk on this, but Jonathan Cooper, the only thing that's going to stop Jonathan Cooper is injuries. Jonathan Cooper, I seen him working DeForest Buckner last year like I've never seen anybody work DeForest Buckner. I said, who is that? There's a clip out like that right now. I said, who is that? He's on our team? That's the guy we drafted? I mean, that's the guy we pulled? Oh, my God! We got ourselves a guard now! So I like Cooper next to Staley. They can run on that side because Cooper runs out he runs out ahead. I mean, this dude is like following the running back down the field. I'm saying, oh, now that's a player. So yeah.
Absolutely. And I think Jonathan Cooper will probably start left guard. And for right guard, I mean, you got, I think Beatles is probably the odd man out, but then you have Laken Tomlinson, Joshua Garnett, 2 former first-round picks. I think Joshua Garnett's coming in a little bit more motivated. You know, he lost like 25 to 30 pounds.
Oh, he's ready.
He was always strong. He was always a great run blocker anyway. I think they made him, they wanted to get lighter so he could be quicker on his feet to help the pass. You know?
Yep.
So, so I think we're okay at guard. And like I said, with Jimmy G, I mean, I think they said other than Aaron Rodgers, he has the quickest release in football.
See, that just I can't wait to see this in action next year. Especially they're going to know what they're doing more so than they did this year. Oh, and we got those quick receivers. So that even amplifies Jimmy G's skill set. Because, in order to be able to throw people open like he does, the faster they are, the more ridiculous it gets against the defense. Oh, there goes Trent Taylor. Oh, Jimmy Garoppolo got that ball out in record time. Trent Taylor makes a catch. Oh, man, I can't wait.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Hey, Niner Nation wants to know, would you pick up Barkley if he's available?
Taekwon?
Yeah. I know. You got to think about it for a second, don't you?
You do. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say I would.
Yeah.
If we can't, I mean, I understand Jerick McKinnon got signed to a big deal, but I mean, Saquon Barkley, he's like another Todd Gurley, man. I don't think you can pass on a guy like that if he's there. I mean, just think about it this way, because Kyle Juszczyk can also play tight end, in my opinion. He has the size and the strength to play, some move tight end. Yep. So you have two backs lined up back there. You have, Jerick McKinnon, Saquon Barkley in your backfield.
Yeah.
Then you can put out, Kyle Juszczyk. You can even throw him in the slot sometimes just to mix it up. I mean, possibilities are endless if you get Saquon Barkley. I don't think it'd be fair to the league if he's there.
It wouldn't. It actually wouldn't. Because just the scheme you just lined up, I would do that. And on the right side of the field, I would have Trent Taylor and Marquise Goodwin standing down there together.
Oh, my goodness.
Flank. And then on the left side, I think I put I'm going to get Kittle down to the side.
George Kittle, yeah. I mean, I've got possibilities will be endless, man.
Ridiculous speed. And people always say, Ram defense, man, they got a leg up on us. Let them try to get a leg up on that lineup, okay?
Oh, my goodness.
This is what I'm saying. People are disrespecting the 49ers offense. Huh?
Like, who are you going to guard?
Yeah.
You're going to find a mismatch. You're going to find a mismatch somewhere.
And all the Talib and Peters, what are they going to do for you? Who they got in the slot in L.A.? I understand the slot coverage is pretty good. He's probably one of the better players on their team.
Oh, they just cut that dude, Kayvon Webster, right? Wasn't he back there one of their best corners? I think he got hurt last year because he was playing pretty well. I think Kayvon Webster was his name. But, I don't know. I don't think – to answer the question, Saquon Barkley at 9, I think you have to.
Yeah. And something else, Teran? Even if you don't, you can't just go by. I mean, if it comes in at 9, you can't just pick somebody else. I'd actually, if nothing else, I'd hold him hostage. I'd have somebody answering the phones. Listen, Kyle, we know you don't want Taekwon. What do you want for him? Or something like, because I might get him to keep it moving, but I'm not just passing him. So you're right, Teran. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Sax Montgomery, what's up? Big shout out. What's up, fam? Thank you very much. All right, Marcus Rickert, do you think Derwin James is a potential fit? I like our safeties. He says, do you think Derwin James, is he a potential fit? That's part one of the question. And I like our safeties in Tart and Colbert. But James is such a good player at 6'3" and fits the scheme perfectly. Teran, your thoughts?
Okay, I kind of touched on him earlier. With pick number 9, I wouldn't pick him. But, I mean, because like I said earlier, to me, he's a better athlete than he's a football player right now. I'm not saying he can't be. I think in about a year he might be good. To be honest, if we drafted him, I'd probably play him at the will, just because I think he's a better fit there than playing safety and stuff. 'Cause I actually like our safeties, and like I said, Derwin James, from what I've seen at Florida State, sometimes he takes some pretty bad angles. He gets flipped. I mean, people are coming after him, and he's getting turned around the wrong way, and all kinds of other stuff. I mean, I think you can throw him, you can throw him at some nickel, throw him at some will and stuff. He might be able to fit. I mean, if we draft him, if John Lynch feels he's good enough, of course, I'm going to support it and be cool with it. But I don't know. I think at 9, you could probably get somebody better. To be honest, I think Minkah Fitzpatrick is a better football player than Derwin James.
Oh my God! There's gonna be some people on the phone.
And everybody, and then I don't know. I've been on your show a few times, and people know how I am. I don't care about how much of an athlete you are. I want a football player.
There you go. Yeah, and here's the thing. NFL Network, there's a couple analysts that say Derwin's got to work on his tackling. I don't get to watch Florida State very often. But when I heard that, I thought this guy was supposed to be a hammer. There's a difference between a hammer and a tackler. A hammer can knock people completely off the field, but doesn't necessarily mean he can't get beat out in open space. And the thought of that scares me to death. So,
yes, sir. Yeah. I agree.
Okay. Daniel Alvarez, Tremayne Edmonds is overrated. He isn't polished. He has potential. Someday Roquan is a finished product, ready to dominate. However, Harold Landry fits a bigger need. Pass rush. He's better than Marcus. Well, Daniel came ready to. Daniel came in wanting to fight. Teran, how do you feel about that?
Well, if he wants to fight, it won't be easy. Well, I mean, everybody has their own opinion. I like Tremayne Edmonds. I get in depth on these players, but when I look at film and stuff, when I see what kind of fit they are for our team, to me, I just think, to me, it all depends on who's around you. Because with that athleticism, okay, let's just say Reuben Foster doesn't get suspended. Okay, Malcolm Smith comes back and he's healthy and he's back to his own self in 2016. If you have, it's going to be. You remember when Ray Lewis was complaining that one year when they didn't have a line to eat up blockers, and then they went and got somebody. Haloti not in the draft, and then because Ray Lewis, he liked to run free and do his thing. To me, that's Tremayne Edmonds. I'm not saying they're the same player. What I'm saying is with our D line, with Solomon Thomas, Armstead, Cassius Marsh, DeForest Buckner, you have them 4 on the line eating up blocks, and you got Tremayne Edmonds running free, that tall, that fast. Put him over a tight end. He's going to stop the run. So to me, I don't think he's overrated. I think on our team, he would fit perfectly because I think he'd have the supporting cast around him to let him do his thing.
I like that. And I was huge on Tremayne just a few weeks ago until people started talking about, you know what? What was the rest of that question?
He said Harold Landry is better than Marcus Davenport. I think it depends on who you talk to. Harold Landry is more polished, obviously. Marcus Davenport is raw. But people, history just shows people like picking potential over, let's just say, somebody who's polished, let's just say. So I think Davenport, he has the size, the speed. Yeah, he's not as polished as a pass rusher as Harold Landry yet, but GMs have this mentality of like, I can get the coaching for him to hit his ceiling. So
Chris
I
Kiffin.
think, what's that?
And Chris Kiffin. I think about what that guy would be like in Chris Kiffin's hands, and
Yeah. So, But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Harold Landry is more polished than Marcus Davenport, and right now he is a better pass rusher. But I think teams look more to the future of, okay, well, what can he be in 3 years? And people, I think 90% of people think Marcus Davenport will be better than Harold Landry in 3 years. So that's probably why you see the mock drafts and Harold Landry. Because I wouldn't pick Harold Landry at 9 just because I already think our D-line, yes, I understand people, we need a pass rush. Yeah, I get it. I totally understand that. But people are forgetting the fact that Solomon Thomas is going to get better. Cassius Marsh has he last 4 or 5 games, he was killing it. Jeremiah Talcho, I mean, he knows our scheme, and he can play edge as well. Peter T is another one that can put his hand on the ground and play edge. So we have a lot of people. We just need, I think it depends on the interior line. Eric Armstead, he stays healthy. DeForest Buckner going to do his thing. Solomon Thomas can be moved from edge to inside. So I think we're going to be okay because pass rush can come from all angles, And then, like I said, too, like I mentioned earlier, Eli Harold, they're going to put him back to his natural position more and put him with his hand in the ground. Because in Virginia, he got drafted as a 4-3 defensive end. And he had double-digit sacks every year. Just sucks that Trent Baalke kind of ruined him, told him to gain weight.
Gain some weight.
Be far outside linebacker like he did Carradine. But, I mean, for him to go back to his natural position, go with what you know, I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah, I hope he's losing weight, actually, because Eli Harold, if he loses weight, gets back to his speed comes back. Because I remember that year, he had the quickest step off the line than anybody in camp by far. So if you bring that back, okay, we'll see. Well, because I've been hating on Eli, talking bad about him for the last 2 seasons, but it wasn't really his fault, just for the reason you just mentioned. Baalke, Eli, I want to challenge you to pick up some weight. I'm going to put you on the outside next year, and you're going to show the NFL what you're made of. Hey, Trent, that's not what he does. Okay, Marcus Reichert says.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Marcus Reichert. Oh, Daniel Alvarez. Would you take Minkah if available, and where would you play him?
So, the way, I don't know if you were here from the beginning, I did a mock draft from picks 1 through 8 with all the other teams. And Minkah and Tremayne were the 2 players I was considering. I just went with Edmonds. But Minkah, if Edmonds is not there, I would definitely draft Minkah because, to me, he's a great football player. He can play any position in the secondary. He kind of reminds me of Jalen Ramsey a little bit. Somebody that excelled at both free safety and corner, has the speed, even though Jalen Ramsey a little faster. But, I mean, Minkah Fitzpatrick is a ball hawk. He's a sure tackler. So you pick somebody like that, you can't go wrong picking him, even if he does play, let's say, nickel corner, because nickel corner nowadays is pretty much a starter.
Yeah,
because everybody plays 3 receiver sets nowadays, and I don't know. Like I said, you can go back and look at the film. I watch Alabama. I'm just a football fanatic, so I watch everybody. So looking at Minkah, I mean, the man's a ball hawk. He had, I think I said, he had like 5 interceptions returned for touchdown in his career. That's pretty good.
Oh.
So.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Actually,
so I would definitely look at Minkah at 9 if he's there.
All right. And Marcus Reichert, thoughts on Auden Tate? We need a big body receiver, but Shanahan seems to prefer quicker guys with amazing hands. Why do you think that is, Marcus? But anyway, Teran.
My thoughts on Auden Tate, I don't like him. I think he's slow. And I'm not talking about, I don't care if he I think he ran like a 4.74 40 as a receiver.
Oh, turtle time.
And you know what? And that wouldn't even really matter if he ran like a 6.53 cone or whatever the case may be. Yeah. Because that means he's fast out of his breaks. But I just don't like him. Yeah, he's 6'5", 230. To me, he's like a poor man's Kelvin Benjamin. And Benjamin hasn't been doing, and Benjamin hasn't really been doing nothing lately. So if every big receiver would pan out, then they would always be like that. But you got more big receivers that don't pan out more than they do. You know what I mean? You have a couple. You got the Martavis Bryants and stuff like that. But, unless you're drafting a Julio Jones, A.J. Green in the first round, Auden Tate, I don't like him. I would draft Equanimeous St. Brown or...
Ooh, I like him.
Yeah, I like him too. But see, he's he fit our scheme better than him. I would draft him or maybe even Simi Cobbs or Alan Lazard before I drafted Auden
Lazard, yeah, like him. Yeah. If you're going to be tall, don't be just tall. See, Teran,
Exactly.
people labor under the illusion that because he's tall, he's a red zone threat. No, he's not. He's just big. He can be challenged. You could put a kid like even the one with Denzel Ward out there against him. If he's got no speed, Denzel's going to wait for him to get to his spot and pick him off because he's slow. And it ain't going to be that hard because a lot of these little guys have verticals that are going to be fine against the big guy, and they already got the quickness on them. So just being big and throwing the ball up in the air so he can win the jump, unless you're talking about Jimmy Graham, then you're wasting your time. So yeah.
I totally agree. Totally agree.
Man. All right, well, let's go to Salvador Babiska. What's your plan with the safety position after the 2018 season?
After the 2018 season? Well,
sure.
I would, Jimmy Ward, unless he shows me something, he's gone. And what's sad about it is it's a contract year. So he'll probably play 16 games. You know how these dudes do. Oh, contract year, I'll suck it up and play all year. You know what I mean? So Eric Armstead will probably play his full 16 as well just because he wants that contract. So Jimmy Ward, if he's healthy, he's worth keeping around for safety. But I do like Tart. And I'm definitely signing him to an extension. I'd probably try to do it during camp, to be honest. If I wouldn't wait till the season's over. I wouldn't wait till 2019. If he's showing me something in camp, and he's just all over the field, he's showing some improvement. I'd call his agent and say, look, we want Tart here for the long haul, and I want to go ahead and sign him an extension now. So I wouldn't even let him get to free agency. And Colbert still has the 3 years to play before his deal is even being talked about. So I think we'll be okay at safety. And we can always draft for depth. And then with that draft pick that I just got, Dane Cruikshank, he excelled at both free safety and corner. So I like to draft versatility. So he can step in and play either one in case there's an injury. So
yeah. It's amazing how many guys are in school now are playing both safety and corner. Because when you look at, I understand that Adrian can play the corner to some degree. I don't know if they'd want to put him there, but I do love him at safety. I don't know.
That's funny because his last year, because he was at Miami first,
right?
And then he went to Texas. Remember he went to Texas? Remember that, or vice versa, whatever it is.
He started in Texas, then he went to Miami. Something went wrong in Texas.
Yeah, and his last year, he actually played corner.
Yeah.
So he got drafted as a corner, but he could play both spots. So. I think these kids are and these coaches nowadays know versatility will get you drafted a lot higher, or or give you the chance to even be drafted if you can play multiple positions.
Yeah, and Adrian Colbert's closing speed. You know what? If you get a chance, fam, you guys got to watch Adrian Colbert's closing speed. When it looks like he's out of a play, he's not.
He's not.
Colbert will be there in a heartbeat. That play he made against the Giants that game, when Eric Reed had to come over there and calm him down, did you see where he came from to make that play? I'm sold on Colbert. I can't wait till next year.
Me too. He's just gonna get better too. So.
Oh God, let's. We got a phone call. It looks like it's the Big Show with a question. All right, Teran, brace yourself. All right, Show, come on in.
Hey, what's up, Teran and Ronbo?
Hey.
What's going on, man?
So one of the concerns that people have at guard is, especially with Cooper, is he let Adrian Claiborne get by him 6 times and sack Dak that in last year's game.
That wasn't Cooper, by the way.
Oh, it wasn't Cooper. Okay.
No, that was the other side.
Cooper.
Well, anyways, to me, did Cooper, was he like a third stringer or a second stringer when he was with Dallas?
Yeah, go ahead, Teran. I already know what I mean.
Well, the year before he was with Arizona. Remember, Arizona drafted him, and he went to Dallas because Dallas lost, I think, a guard or something in free agency, and I think he was second string. Somebody ended up getting hurt. They put him in for the final 13 games, and then he excelled. So he's and then two. Maybe the credit of the Dallas line. They do have an elite line, so maybe the better pieces around him helped him a little bit. But, like Ronbo said, you look at the tape when he played against DeForest Buckner, he was giving him fits.
And Teran, I want to add to that.
Right.
Here's the thing. He was a first-string pick out of Arizona, And
yeah, he was he was a top 10 pick in the draft. He was first round pick number 7, I believe.
Yeah. And
he got North Carolina.
Well,
yeah, he got hurt in preseason, and they never could get him healthy. Took 2 years before they decided this kid's never going to be healthy. He is elite talent at the guard spot. He just can't stay. He gets hurt in preseason. That's how bad his luck is.
Yeah.
He got hurt again when I think it was New England. He went to New England, come in the same story. He's getting hurt in preseason. This guy can play football. And then in Dallas, of course, there was an injury to their offensive line, and Cooper came in and gave him one of the best run games in the NFL last year. All right, go ahead.
Yep, he did.
Well, with his injury history and his bouncing around, that should be a concern to everybody.
It is.
And if New England called and they offered us their 2 first-round picks and our second-round pick back to us, would you draft Mike McGlinchey and Isaiah Wynn with those 2 first-round picks and then get Arden Key in the second round?
Okay, I just want to point out, though, the thing is, he just came from New England to Dallas, because of the, as I mentioned, the hurt injuries thing. So it won't be New England calling. But just for an arbitrary situation, go ahead, Teran. Would you do that?
Would I draft two first offensive linemen? Probably not. I'd probably go 1 tackle and then get maybe like a DJ Moore or somebody like that. And then Arden Key, I think I'd stay away from him in general. I mean, I'd probably go maybe, I don't know, a combination of maybe a DJ Moore and McGlinchey or Sam Hubbard and, somebody like that, like an edge, somebody on the edge or an offensive lineman or something. But I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. Depends on who's on the board. But as far as Arden Key, I don't know. To me, he's overrated. I don't really care for him. He's had some trouble off the field and stuff like that.
That's worrisome.
I don't think we need that right now.
Yeah.
There's also another rusher that everyone keeps ignoring, and that's Rashawn Green out of USC. What are your thoughts
I like
about
him too.
If we don't get Arden Key?
What's his name,
guys?
Rashawn Green.
Rasheem Green, right? Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Rasheem Green. Yeah, Rasheem Green.
Yeah, he's really good too. He I had him in the second round too, but I don't know, with the way the draft's going to go, I don't see him being there at pick 59.
All right. Yeah.
All right,
show.
That's all I had.
Good. All right, good show. Good stuff.
Right.
You too. All right. Let's say we're going. Hey, Felix, go ahead, Felix.
What's up, boss man? How you doing?
Oh, Felix, man, I'm doing all right, man. We got 3 weeks to go before the draft. I can't wait.
I can't wait neither, man. Look here, brother. I am getting sold on Minkah Fitzpatrick, and like what somebody pointed out before, he's had touchdowns and punt block interceptions from returns, and anytime your defense can score you points, that's a plus. And and then he can play the corner, he can play safety. You can put him in different spots, because I think that this year, with the track where he's going with Jimmy Ward, he's not going to be with the 49ers next year because he can't stay healthy.
Right.
He can't stay healthy, and I think that Fitzpatrick is going to pretty much take his job.
Right.
And something else too, I think as far as our secondary and things, we're good. I think this year, because we really did not sign, or we don't know who our dominant pass rusher is, we're going to get a lot of coverage sacks.
All right, but
with the guys that we have,
but
with Colbert, we get Fitzpatrick and things.
Felix,
go ahead.
But I'm just saying, Felix, but we got the conference coming up next. But listen, Felix, do you have a direct question though?
Hello.
Yeah, Felix.
Hello.
Yeah, who's this?
Hello.
Yeah, hello, hello. Felix, can you hear me?
Oh, you're breaking up really bad. I can't hear you.
All right, Felix. No, Felix,
hello?
I wanted to know. Okay, Felix, you may have to call back.
Okay,
Felix, bad connection on that one. Okay.
I can't hear him,
Yeah, we lost him. Okay, Felix, call back a little while. We're gonna have the fan gathering after. Sheik, what is your question?
What's up, Ronbo? What's up, Teran? What's going on? It's a Sheik and Bashar connection together.
What's up, Ronbo? With the Bashar? Hit squad, baby. Hit squad. Hit that squad.
What's up, guys?
But my question is, what's the reason that you not going to trade back? And there's other guys as well. You could get more picks, like a wide receiver that you're looking at. But there's Landry and Arden Key also available. What do you think about trading back?
I kind of already addressed this earlier. What I was saying is the way I'm looking at the board is I'm assuming, this is just an assumption, I'm thinking between 3 and maybe even 5 quarterbacks might go in the top 10. I'm going to say 3 for sure. I think you got 3 of them. So the more quarterbacks that go in the top 10, the more the elite players are going to start dropping to us, whether it's, I feel like it's going to be, I feel like the quarterbacks, Nelson and Chubb are probably going to be the ones that are be taken early. I don't think we're going to have a chance at any, at Chubb or Nelson. But I think with the quarterbacks being drafted, you have a Tremayne Edmonds on the board. You have a Minkah Fitzpatrick on the board. You might even have a Saquon Barkley on the board. I don't think you trade back when you have elite talent sitting in your lap.
Right. Yeah,
Does that make sense?
You get that? Sheik, did you get that?
I hear you, but the only thing is, it's like there's so much talent that you could get, but I understand what you're talking about. And Edmonds is a nice pickup, but I really think there's other guys. I like your pick, but the thing is, I think there's other. What's the reason that you say Auden Tate is slow?
Well, he is, Sheik.
Well, he is.
His time is bad.
He ran, like I said, he ran like a 4.7, 4.4. And like I said too, and like I was telling you too, even if he ran a 4.7 like he did at the combine, he ran a 4.74. Okay, that's an issue in itself as a receiver. But
Yes.
let's say he ran a 3-cone and his 3-cone was 6.58. Okay, well that's something you can look at for the red zone, because now he's big and he can separate. Now you can maybe throw it up in the air, but the man can't get no separation. His 3-cone is slow. He runs a slow 40 in itself, and him being 6'5", 230, who knows what his weight? Who knows what his weight's going to be? They might use him at some tight end at some time. So I just don't like him. I just don't like him as a receiver for us. Like I mentioned earlier, Alan Lazard is a better big receiver. Simi Cobbs, better big receiver. Equanimous,
yes,
a better big receiver. So I take my chances with.
What do you think about DJ Moore?
Who?
DJ Moore.
What do you think about DJ Moore? Or
somebody called earlier and said that if we had to trade down for New England's first 2-round picks, I would get DJ Moore. I think he's worth a first-round pick. I think Ridley and DJ Moore go in the first round. I think those are the 2 best receivers in my opinion.
There you go.
He gets separation. Yeah, he gets separation. Yeah, he's only 6 foot 200, but the man he's a football player.
All right, guys. We're gonna let's say this for the conference later. We do good stuff, Sheik. All right, and Auden Tate slow.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, hit there and hit that squad. Go nice.
All right, Sheik. See you guys in a little bit. All right, let's. We got anybody else on the phone?
Hello.
Felix is back. Hello? Felix, see if you got a better connection this time. Felix, Felix, you have a question, because we're gonna discuss matters a little later on. But if you had a direct question, do you have one?
Yeah, I do have a direct question.
All right.
As far, we still feel that, are we still talking about the 49ers and the receivers? Is that a necessity to get, like, right now? What do you say would be the biggest need, the biggest necessity for us?
Right.
To
That's
me,
a good question.
Biggest necessity, I would say linebacker and probably edge is probably our biggest necessity. And then I would say probably a backup offensive tackle and then a receiver. But I'm the type of person, I don't reach for need. That's for sure. So the reason why I got Deon Kane second round is because he, to me, is a top five receiver in this draft class. If he's there, I think he fits our scheme. He's fast, 6'2", 202. He has an excellent 3-cone drill at 6'7", 1. So yes, I think you pick receiver, second round, third round if possible, because like I said earlier, Pierre Garçon, to me, this is his last year with San Francisco. I don't see him staying amongst 2018. So if you can get Deon Kane, have him sit and be like the fourth receiver right now, have him groomed to take over for PR on the outside in 2019. I think that'd be a great pick, getting Deon Kane.
There you go, Felix. All right, Felix. We're going to be having the gather in just a little while, okay? Thanks, Felix.
Oh, okay. I'll call back then. Okay.
All right,
we'll do
for you. All right, Felix. All
right.
Let's see. Let's see. We go up here and get another question here from. That's Mark. Oh, Daniel Serrano. Would you trade? I don't know. Would you trade for Richie Incognito?
No.
Didn't even have to think about that one. You know what? Blame. I had to take some of the blame for that. I was saying before I looked at what we have now as offensive guards, I said, you know what? I need some meanness up in front, because I was looking also at Quinton Nelson. And Quinton Nelson seems like he's got a lot of dog in him. He gets a little. It looks like he takes things a little personal out there. Richie Cognito used to emulate that image. And to the point where, he got flagged for unnecessary, Richie, it's a game, Richie. Don't be headbutting people, So, know. So anyway, but Richie Cognito's, he's getting up there. But what do you think about Richie Cognito? Absolutely no and nothing else, huh?
I don't know. Like you said, the main thing is he's getting up there in age. I think he's like 33, 34 now, isn't it?
He's his time.
No, I don't think I'd trade for him. I mean, if he's released, I'd take a look at him. But as far as using a draft pick for him, no.
Yeah, it's true. J-Mac 5000, I love Dane Cruikshank. And the kid dominated the combine and did 26 reps. Whoa. 26 reps of 225, but he's a safety. We got a corner doing 26 reps. I'm kind of impressed with that. I didn't know about him. He's a safety, not a corner. Well, he's your guy. Go ahead and amplify.
That's not true. He could play safety and corner. He's a mixture of both. So he played majority of his snaps at safety, but he can play corner as well. But the man is right. He did 26 reps. He ran a 4.41, and then he had like a 6.8 cone or something like that. So and he, like I said, and he's big, he's physical, he can hit. Coming from Arizona wasn't known for defense because people used to put up like 40 on him. But he was one of the bright standouts on that defense. So
he can't do it by himself. So
nope.
And the notorious Lee, if Edmonds goes to Vic at 8, which people are predicting, who are we taking a trade back with? You know what's really funny? Vic Fangio, he is probably loving him some Tremayne Edmonds. I can see Fangio liking him. So he says. And that is a prediction by. So who will be taking a trade, or will be trading back with the Bills to get with the trade back, guys? Listen, I think Teran's answered the trade back question a few times. Now let's come up with another question besides the trade back. Teran, go ahead and repeat. What do you think about that deal, though?
Well, I look at. I know Vic Fangio. He's probably salivating at the mouth over Tremayne Edmonds' size and speed and all that stuff. But I look at the division. And they're pretty good linebackers. They have that Leonard Floyd. They have Danny Trevathan, I think his name is, that came from Denver. Their linebackers are not bad. Huh?
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, they
bad.
do.
But you look at that division, it's a passing division. They don't have any dominant running backs. They have Stafford. I mean, if he goes to the Bears, he has to face Stafford twice a year, Aaron Rodgers twice a year, and then he has to face him.
Is it Minnesota in that division?
And Kirk Cousins. And it's a passing division. Like, there's no really standout running backs in that division like it is ours. So I think in that division, you have to get after the quarterback. So that's why I went with Davenport going to Chicago, because they have a need at D-line. Their D-line is kind of weak. So I think Harold Landry or maybe Marcus Davenport could be the pick, but I would not be surprised if Vic Fangio talked them into getting Tremayne Edmonds, which, like I said, and if he did, I would definitely go with Minka if he's still available.
Brilliant observation, too. Teran did, you know what? He does his homework. Every move he makes, now he sized up that division and realized what the strength of that division is. Hence, that's how you're going to draft him. The personnel you're going to build is going to be designed to stop people like Rodgers, Cousins. What's in that division?
And Stafford.
Yeah, of course. You'd better have some beasts coming off of that. Yeah, it makes sense. All right. J-Mac also wants, what do you think about Isaiah Oliver or Arden Key in round 2? Okay, you Isaiah Oliver, I don't think you've touched upon that. We know he doesn't like Arden Key, guys. Stop asking about Arden Key. Okay, go ahead, Teran.
Well, to be fair, it could be people that just joined. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Arden Key, you already know my thoughts. I don't care for him. He's too, to me, he's too light in the tail. He's got some off-field trouble, and I just think the way, the stuff that went down with Reuben Foster, we need to stay away from dudes like that right now.
Mm-hmm. He will.
Isaiah Oliver will not be there at 59. I'm sorry.
I know. Dang it.
Huh?
I really like him.
Yeah. Josh Jackson, Jair Alexander, Denzel Ward, all these guys are going in the top 40 picks. Like, I don't think Isaiah, we'd have to trade up to get him, and he won't be there at 59, in my opinion.
Oh, it just bothers me so much. I mean, my spotlight's been on Isaiah Oliver. I said, you know what? They got a good program going out in Colorado. When I look at Akello Witherspoon, I said, my God, he didn't take him long to catch up with the program.
Nope.
So, I figure, and I'm looking at Isaiah Oliver, he looks pretty sharp already. He's got some habits he needs to break, but I can see the potential there as well.
And what people don't know about Akello Witherspoon, too, he had a sub-7 3-cone. His 3-cone was like 6'8" something.
Yeah. And at his size, 6'3". See, you know what, Teran? That's why playing soccer, I think every kid in America should be playing soccer starting when he's 5 or 6 years old, because, his mom's not going to let him play football yet. There's some moms let him play Pop Warner, but still.
Yeah.
Develop those skills that soccer players seem to develop.
Yeah.
I've coached Little League kids in baseball that played soccer, and I couldn't wait. After a while, I says, you know what, any kid that's out here because his mom says you need to keep busy, and he's a soccer player, I'm getting him. Some of the best athletes I've ever seen as children are soccer players. Yeah.
So you have to have, because everything's about your feet, You have to learn how to take good angles and turn on a dime, and it does help, that's for sure.
It's amazing. Graphic Kicks, what do you think about Holton Hill? One of my guys, Holton Hill, defensive back from Texas, 6'3", 200, physical, willing tackler. And, of course, his bottom line is Graphic Kicks, has immaturity issues off the chart. Oh, my God, I wish that wasn't true. Teran, what do you think?
He's definitely worth the 3rd-round pick. If I had thought about him when I was doing my draft and stuff, but I wanted to get a little bit more prospects that were more clean. But I do like Holton Hill, and we all know Kyle Shanahan went to the University of Texas, so he has some ties there, But I don't know. I think he'll be gone, and I'd rather address edge in our first 3 picks, and address tackle. You get you a high quality tackle to go, like I said, to groom for Staley. But that's why I trade up in the 3rd round to get Dane, because I think Dane Cruikshank is actually going to be probably one of the best corners when it's all said and done. I'm not saying he's going to be Denzel Ward or nothing like that, but I really think he has the ability to, especially in our scheme. He has the size, quickness, everything in our scheme. So I went with Dane Cruikshank instead of Holton Hill.
Teran, let me ask you a question. How many players do you remember that didn't have issues in college to come into the NFL and develop issues? I ask that question because players that come out of college with issues, it seems that they bring them right into the pros. But, how many players, that came in looking good, one of the best citizens, involved in community charities and everything else that are doing lots of wholesome things, that all of a sudden start going the wrong way? I couldn't think of anybody.
No, I can't. No, you can't think of anybody like that. I mean, most of the time you go on with good head on their shoulders. Most of the time it sticks with you. And to be fair, a lot of these kids, it depends on where they grew up. They're just awesome athletes that are just usually at the wrong place or the wrong time. And some people think, well, now they have money. You would think that they'd stop. Sometimes that's not the case. I mean, because you can't, exactly. If somebody's already hood, it's kind of hard to shake that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you see Alden Smith. He's still having his issues. He got arrested again Friday.
Yeah, he's 3rd time in what? 2 months?
3rd time in 2 weeks or something. I think 3rd time in 2 weeks. From what I remember.
Alden's going to go down the Guinness book. Oh,
yeah,
my
I mean,
God.
and it's funny too because everybody's like, "Oh, Reuben Foster, I just can't believe he's getting all this trouble." And who knows? He might have been getting in trouble at Alabama, but he was such a high profile player. Nick Saban might have swept that under the rug. You don't know that,
All college programs do.
Exactly. So you win some, you lose some. I just hope, and I posted this on Twitter. I mean, I just hope that Reuben, if he doesn't want to do it for himself, he does it for his daughter. He has an 8-year-old daughter, and he needs to, it's not her fault that she's here. You need to get with the program, and you got a little girl you got to think about. So get your stuff together.
Yeah. And I read about the horror story that Reuben grew up under. I can see where he could be a little scarred, but I'm hoping guys like Saban and some of those better influences in his life, I hope if there's a crack of light there. I'm worried about Reuben. That's why I love your pick. I always said that a while back. I said, you know what? If we're going to have inconsistency with Reuben, we need to get a bad boy for this linebacker position and see if we can make up for Reuben. Because, quite frankly, Teran, I think Reuben Foster could be that generational player people like to talk about and use that term so loosely sometimes. I think Reuben Foster really is a generational player. I don't know that a lot of what you see out there is just natural talents. He does what he does. Instincts, when he's standing around the line of scrimmage, dancing around and smiling and laughing, the reason is because his game is so far above everybody else's. He's about to make this play, and he knows there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
That's
why I had mentioned earlier too. It was like if everything goes as planned, and even if he does get suspended, but let's just say he doesn't. Okay, if we start our season, let's just say with the D line, our starting 11, you go Solomon Thomas, Eric Armstead, DeForest Buckner, and let's just say Cassius Marsh or Atalcho. Okay, you got them four, maybe even Eli Harold if he shows up to be an elite pass rusher. Then you got the linebackers with Tremayne Edmonds, Reuben Foster, Malcolm Smith, and our DBs Sherman, Witherspoon, Tart, and Colbert. That's a good defense.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great defense.
It is. You got quickness.
Man, you got size, you got quickness, and it would be elite in my opinion, So
and you got Richard Sherman back there. And you know what? Exactly. You got one side of the field you can test. If Sherman's healthy, and I got a feeling he's going to be, he had a bone spur removed that's been bothering him for the last couple of years. Now that's gone. Now he's going to really feel pretty good. Yeah. And you got a Kello on the other side, and it's really, that's a good defense. So
and then too, I tell somebody too, and everybody was like, well, Richard Sherman, I don't know if he's going to be healthy. Well, nobody knows your body like you do. So, and one thing you can say about Richard Sherman, you can call him all you want. You can call him, he can be irritating, whatever the case may be. You can't call him dumb. You can't call him dumb. That's for sure.
No.
So for you to sit there, for you to question him and, I can't believe he took this deal, and he's banking on himself probably because he knows he's going to be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it was about the money, his agent could have went to Cleveland and said, "You got a lot of money, Indianapolis, you got a lot of money. Hey, Richard Sherman wants to play for you." He could have took them for all he got. He could have got $15 million a year, even if he was hurt or not.
Easily.
But easily, he would have just got paid off name. Richard Sherman wants to play for me. Cool, let's give him $15 million a year. But the fact that he banked on himself and said, you know what, it ain't about the money. I know I can earn the money myself because I feel I'm going to be healthy. I know I can make a Pro Bowl. You got to respect that.
Got one last question. We got the Notorious Lee with how physical our safeties play. Would you draft Deshaun Elliott, Terrell Edmonds in 3-4 rounds, so a third or fourth round, so we can have cover? They can both cover safety and corner and have perfect size for our scheme. I guess you're looking for depth there. Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely, I would. I mean, if Dane Cruikshank isn't there, like if he goes earlier than expected, and then we ended up getting to the fourth round, and one of them two are available, absolutely, I'd take a chance on one of them. I think they're both great players.
All right. Yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap it. Jim Thomas. Jim Thomas is very funny. You know what? This thing we've moved now from the Hawks to the Rams, and the jokes are flowing. Do you think Jimmy G likes lamb chops or barbecue hawk? Hey, Teran, before you go, I'd like to know, though, do you think the Hawks are really dead? Are we burying them a little too soon? I mean, they've made a lot of changes, and it is still Russell Wilson is still out there with them. It still makes their offense a little bit dangerous. And Pete Carroll and his notorious defensive abilities is still there as well. that the personnel's been reduced to like kind of like everybody else's now. But what do you think?
I still haven't counted them out yet because we still have the draft we have to do. I think if the season were starting today, then I'd be like, man, I like our chances, but you still got Russell Wilson, just like you stated, and I mean he's still a great quarterback. Every time you have a great quarterback, you have a chance, regardless of the situation.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean, Russell Wilson's still there. Their running game is shaky. They lost Paul Richardson, so that's one of their deep threats that are gone. But Tyler Lockett really hasn't shown anything as a receiver yet. He's, seems like got buried on the depth chart. So I don't know. As of now, no, I don't think they're better than us, and that's not being biased. But like I said, we still have the draft, and Rams. They could be overrated still. I mean,
I really
reminds me of the Eagles. Reminds me of the Eagles that one year where they got Vince Young and all these players, and they're calling themselves the super team on paper, and didn't even make the playoffs.
Terrence, the Rams still have some glaring openings, and I know Kyle's already licking his chops. If you're not going to have any linebackers, what do the 49ers have abundance of that most teams don't even have? Speed. If you don't have flashing linebackers, Talib and Peters are going to be good on the edges, but they're not going to be able to cover that. And your slot guy, you can leave him out there by his. No, I like our chances, and like I say, with Marquise Goodwin having developed the skills he's developed, they don't have a cover for Marquise. Talib can't cover Marquise Goodwin, and Peters will get smoked. We see that day we saw Peters, and everybody watched that game. I forget the team they were playing. Peters got smoked on a route straight ahead. So he didn't have Marquise Goodwin because of his side. Peters got all mad, went to the sideline, he's throwing his helmet all around, which shows me that he was shamed. So I'm not Peters. He was all pro. I understand that, but he played behind one of the best defensive fronts that I've ever seen, and that also makes for a safety or secondary guy to look better than he might be. So.
No, and I totally agree. And like you said, they have no linebackers right now. They got rid of Ogletree. So if you have, let's just say you got Jerick McKinnon and Kyle Juszczyk in the flats, who's going to cover them?
Right. What are they going to do? Even George Kittle as well. What are you going to do with George?
Yeah. LaMarcus Joyner, with all due respect, I mean, he's a good player, but him being, 5'9" or 5'8", whatever he is, if he tries to get on George Kittle, George Kittle's going to dog him out.
And I would put money on this. I would put money. If Vegas says Joyner versus Taylor, who's going to get the better of that matchup? I'd put my money on Trent all day because of the fact of the matter is, last season when we seen Trent work Tyrann Mathieu as a rookie, that to the point Mathieu got mad and threw him out of bounds like that. It's, Tyrann Mathieu getting mad when you frustrated? So, I like Trent Taylor. We'll see what happens. All right, I want to thank our GM of the day, Teran. Guys, go into I should have told you this a long time ago. Please don't forget to go into the Ronbo Sports app and vote for our GM of the day. What did you think? Give him a thumbs up. I don't want to talk about the other option. Give him a thumbs up. All right, Teran, thank you so much. And fam, don't leave without hitting that like. I'm doing my invitation sheet. Hit that like. We love us some like. Teran, are you ready? Are you going to scream out with Teran? Are the kids asleep? It's too early for kids to be asleep. What am I talking about?
That. Yeah, it's still daylight outside.
Sure, you can't get kids to go to sleep when it's daylight.
No, not at all. Only adults can do that.
I love to do it too, boys. It's good. I like to. You know what I like to do? Turn on that PGA action. I don't care if Tiger Woods is playing or not, and watch that ball pan across the screen on them greens, and bounce. And the announcer, and that looks like should be a dropping down. That could be a par 3.
Yeah, because that'll put you to sleep real quick.
All right, Jared, I'm going to count us out here on 3 and 2 and 1. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to holla. 3, 2, 1. Niners!
49ers!
Yeah! Thanks, Teran. Yeah.
No problem, brother. Anytime, man.
We'll be back with the fan meeting, just a few.
All right, man.